Okay, today I just want to share something very special, very important with you. Something that happened yesterday with one of our candidates. Yesterday, one of our candidates had an interview with one of our recruitment partners in Canada, Work Global Canada, right? He had an interview in the office, and something happened which I'd like to share with you. This is not a testimonial. This is not an advertisement. This is for informational purposes. This is for educational purposes, right? For those who are interested in, in moving abroad, either through other companies or any other persons, or you want to travel abroad through Sponsor East International Recruitment through us. It's important to understand what happens behind the scenes of candidate traveling. So what you see actually is not the only thing that happened. There are a lot of things that happen behind the scenes. So it's some of the things I want to share with you. So this particular candidate, meanwhile, congratulations, Mr. Henry, who attended an interview yesterday and qualified for the interview. This is a candidate that have been registered with us for some time now, right? And one of the days like that, he sent me a message on WhatsApp that one of our recruitment partners, which is Work Global Canada, reached out to him and asked him if he's still interested in the job application we submitted. I told him, yes. Why wouldn't you? Are you no longer interested? He said he's interested. It's okay. You need to respond to that email they sent to you because normally all candidates who register with us, we ask them to create an email, application email, which are different from your personal email. It is on this email that all applications take place. This email serves many purposes. One, it serves communication purposes. That's where all the communication take place between the candidates and our company, International Recruitment, Sponsor is International Recruitment, and our recruitment partners, even the employer. This email serves that purpose so that if our recruitment partners or the employer or Sponsor is travel want to communicate to the candidate direct, all the information communication pass through this email. And at the same time, this email is what we use for all applications for this particular candidate or for any particular candidate. So if you are a registered candidate with us, you know that you have your own email you created. You created the email which we use for the application. Everything we do, we create the CV, cover letter, job search and matching, an application submission, interview, everything happens on that email, right? Also, this email serves transparency purpose. It helps candidate to understand what is happening in his application because we like to, let candidate understand how the application is going from one step to the next. So that's why we ask candidates themselves to create the email so that they will be receiving notifications when information come. So that's what happened to this candidate, right? He received the notification. They asked him if he want to continue in the application in the process, and I sent him. I created an email, email response to respond to them, tell them that yes, you are interested in moving on with the job application that was submitted on your behalf. So when I sent him the email contents on WhatsApp, he copied it and forwarded to them and sent to them. They now scheduled an interview with him. The schedule was scheduled and 3 weeks or 4 weeks before the interview. So the interview took place yesterday. Yesterday was 23rd of July 2026, right? So then we had interview preparation between him and myself because I happen to be his intake officer. We had interview preparation on Zoom. After we discussed possible questions and all the information we have, about the program, about the position and all of that, we prepared him. And I asked him if he'd be willing to come to our office to have the interview so that they can use stable internet, good environment, so that he will not have distractions and all of that. He agreed. So yesterday, the interview actually was scheduled 1:30 p.m., which is 10 a.m. Canadian time, right? 10 a.m. Canadian time because we are 3 hours, 30 minutes ahead of them, of Canada. So we even went there earlier, which is around 9 a.m. in the morning. Both of us went there. So we were just discussing the interview. And with that, he had a good, relaxed mind for the interview. We discussed a lot of things, how other interviews. I showed him videos of other interviews that have happened, other candidates they have interviewed, that have traveled, and all of those things. We had those discussions, you know. I think that built him up. So when it was time, he joined the interview. You know, the interview lasted around 17 to 20 minutes, not up to 25 minutes. The interview was done. I was behind the scene there. I was there when the interview was going on. And they were asking him just some few questions and all of that about. At the end of the interview, he was like, I didn't know that this is how the interview is going to be. I thought it's going to be question after question after question. I told him, before our recruitment partners call you for interview, it means that your qualification match the job the employer needs. So before they will use their time to call you for interview, it means that your profile have matched that position. All they want to do is to confirm that you are the person who profile they have. That's the only thing. And as they confirm that, he saw it. So after that, he left. He left within 1 hour. I was still in the office. He sent me screenshots that wow, he was happy. They have responded to him and said, hey, pass the interview, that you progress to the next stage. I said, wow, congratulations. Right? Myself, I was happy. I was happy as he shared information. I wasn't expecting that as that fast, because we have not had that at that fast before. What we normally have is after 2 days, 1 week, some even stay 1 month before we get feedback from them, right? But this candidate, although has been with us for some months now, it's up to even a year and some months. This candidate has registered with us, right? So they now ask him to submit some document, which happen to be like dependent document, which is marriage certificates, other information that identify that those kids are his kids, and all of those things, and also educational qualifications and skill training qualifications, those he mentioned. So they want to be sure that this candidate has those certificates that he mentioned, right? So we'll be working together to submit those documents, which we're going to be doing today. Okay, one of the information actually I want to share here is that, moving abroad is not, what people see sometimes is someone has gotten an interview, he has attended an interview, he got a job, right? He got a visa, he traveled. There's a lot of things that happen at the background. It's not just what you saw. There are a lot of things. There's a lot of preparations. There's a lot of patience. There's a lot of time. There's a lot of tasks that had happened before somebody travels. What people see is what happens outside, but what happens behind the scene inside, you may not see it, you may not know, but those things must happen. That's why at Sponsor is International Recruitment, we try to let people know those things that happen behind the scenes, right? Like this particular candidate, I'm going to be providing a documentary series of the journey from beginning to the end, right? I'm going to take you from when this candidate started the process and everything down to the interview invitations, interview, preparation, down to the interview day, what happened before the interview, after the interview, the employer response. I'm going to be providing you this thing so that you understand how international recruitment process works. This is not a testimonial. This is not an advertisement. This is for educational purpose. For those who are interested in moving abroad through Sponsor is International Recruitment, you know that patience is required. You need to have patience. Some people think, okay, when I just pay money, I move to Canada. When I pay money, I move to Europe. When I pay money, I go to US. When I pay money, it's not like that. You don't use money to buy those things. More especially when it comes to employment, there's a process. There are different parties that are involved in traveling abroad, which each of these parties are independent. A candidate is a party. Sponsor is International Recruitment is a party. Our recruitment partners is a party. Employer is a party. Immigration is a party. And all of these parties cannot influence the other. They are independent. You cannot make decision for the other. For instance, as the candidates we are scheduled for an interview, we cannot tell the employer or the recruitment partner to hire the candidates if the candidate does not qualify. No, and it is the responsibility of the candidates to sit down and attend the interview. Do you understand? So we cannot sit down on behalf of the candidate to have the interview. And at the same time, the employer responsibility is to issue a job offer for a candidate he thinks that match his position. And our recruitment partners cannot force an employer to recruit somebody. Neither sponsor is international recruitment will force an employer to employ a candidate. It's not possible. The same way, the employer cannot force an immigration to approve a visa. Neither our recruitment partners force an immigration or we force an immigration. These are individual parties, and you cannot influence their individual responsibilities and authority. That's how international process works. So when you are thinking that traveling is an expressway, it is not. If it is, you will have seen that everybody in Nigeria will have left Nigeria and travel abroad, because there are some sequences and some tasks and some responsibilities that you don't have control over, makes it the way it is. That's why Sponsor East International Recruitment has provided a structured way of helping candidates to travel. So one of the ways is we invite you to visit our office. If you want to know how our process works, we are the one inviting you. Come to our office. We'll provide you with information. You're not coming there to make payments. You're coming there to learn how our process works. You're coming there to meet other persons who also came for the same thing. You're coming there to know us. You're coming there to know how our program works, right? You're coming there to know us better. At the same time, you come there so that we can evaluate you to know if you are the right candidate, if you have the right skills, if you have the right documents. At the end, you also decide either to work with us or not. And at the same time, we also decide either to, to help you travel or not. And as you come, you can come with anybody. You can come with a friend, a family member, a lawyer, anybody at all. You can come with. They say two is better than one. You are free to come, and not coming to make payments. You are coming for information and assessment. At the very end, you now decide. Also, we now decide what happens. So before a candidate travel through us, these processes have to take place. After the information section, right, we have to send the assessment results to your email to tell you whether you are qualified or not. Then you have to also decide to accept or not. Then from there, you make payment. If you accept that, then intake officer is assigned to you, right? After that, then we'll provide the other information. We provide what we call candidate service delivery guide. We have a document that shows you step-by-step process or how our process works. So it's like a handbook. You have it with you. So you know what we are to do next, what we have done, what we are to do. So you're not in the dark. You're not just asking what is the update, what is the update. And that's why that email, you create the email. So then from there, we start job search and information 101 career session, job search and matching, where we reach out to our recruitment partners. From there, we create your CV, reformat your CV, now create your cover letter, submit your application to our recruitment partners. Then our recruitment partners takes over from there. They are the one to review the application we have submitted, decides to match you with employer based on employer availability and the skill, right? After that, they schedule you for interview. We prepare you for interview. Then you attend the interview, which will support you. Then they are the one to make decision. Employer will make decision either to hire you or not. It's not Sponsor East International Recruitment that will decide whether employer will hire you or not, right? Employer hires you, gives you a job offer. Our recruitment partners begin visa application, which they submit the application. Then wait for immigration to make decision. Nobody can influence that. Even the candidates, we cannot. Our recruitment partners cannot, employer cannot, right? So we have to wait for the immigration to approve. Then when they approve, before you now will offer the sponsorship, which covers flight accommodation, airport pickup, and all of that. That's how our process works. So we invite you to visit our office, book an appointment, choose a day that you're comfortable of coming to our office, then visit our office for information and eligibility. You get to know how it works. In the coming weeks, right, I'm going to be providing detailed step-by-step documentary series of this particular candidate, how he started, how he got an interview, how things that happened behind the scenes, what happened before the interview, during the interview, the interview preparation, and how the interview went, the discussions, and all of those things, so that you can have an idea of the process. So traveling abroad is not just come now and pay money and you travel. That's not how it works. So these are the information we're going to provide for you. So I want you to watch out for the next videos I'm going to be providing, I'm going to be sending. So you go through so that you can have detailed information on how Sponsor E's international recruitment process work, how our company is structured to help candidates to travel abroad transparently. Our process works transparently, where pay attention to transparency. So watch out for the next video. Then I'm going to provide the series step videos on how this event unfolded.